Welcome back to the Gaming and Gaming Accessories podcast. I'm your host, Garrett.
I'm screaming, but you can't hear it. I'm Ben.
He's screaming, but you can't
Hi.
hear it, and that's Ben. We got a lot to
Yeah.
talk about today. Summer Games Fest went on last week. We
Oh my
also had
goodness.
the finishing of Computex. Computex ended
Oh, I
last
finished
week.
the Computex.
Okay, and there was the Apple keynote on Monday, and they showed off a few things. So we got a lot to get into. A lot of games were announced. So Ben, do you want to
And a
start
lot
us
of them
off, or
suck.
do you a lot of them do suck? We're gonna start with the most exciting games. That could be
Oh,
subjective, but
dude, I'm so
we're gonna
excited.
start with the most exciting games. First, I think we should start with games that we are actually excited for, and then we'll
What?
go into like this is what the public is likely.
Dude, are we really excited for games?
Unlimited games.
Okay. I can
I'm
get
excited
excited for
for the
that, I guess.
bacon, honestly. I picked the bacon.
All right. Dude, really?
Yeah, I had some bacon earlier, so
No, that means you get no games, though.
no, yeah. So I mean, I'm not excited for any of these because I'm not getting
Unless
them
your
anyway.
bacon was limited.
No, I got the unlimited bacon.
Okay.
Yep. All right.
That's cool.
What are you most excited about? Is there any games that you're most excited about?
I like games.
Yeah, like unlimited games.
Well, it's a good thing I chose unlimited games. No. One of the it's while it was announced earlier, one of the more exciting announcements from my perspective at least is the new Fable.
Right. How
Um,
long has it been?
it's been since Fable 3, and Fable 3, I was playing that on the Xbox 360. Um,
When did that
2010,
release? 2010. Wow. Okay.
26,
15, 16
2026,
years. 16.
16 years.
Wow.
Yeah. And in part because the studio that made Fable went under, which obviously isn't usually good for any game franchise. Um, but this Fable shows a lot of potential. Fable's well known outside of many things for its humor, and from what I have seen of the game, it does have a pretty good sense of humor. In like its traditional sort of British comedy way of things, very Monty Python, or at least Monty Python inspired. Um, One thing they have shown off that seems very cool, actually, um, is a lot of like the game's systems. This trailer is more like story focused, and I'm gonna be honest, Fable games are good about the story. Like the story's always been decent, and like especially I think Fable 3 had a pretty good story. And actually, Fable no, they okay, they do have good stories. Don't get me wrong, but it is more of an adventure game. It's less like there's like all of these twists and turns and choices and so on, but it's more you go from point A to point B over the course of like however many hours, and you have a few things that might, change the outcome, but it only really comes up near the end. I guess is the way I would think to put it. But no, what
Gotcha.
they did show off, and I think what draws a lot of people to the game, is some of the management aspects in that you can buy shops, which is a which is a huge thing in the old games. Um, and you can have like relationships with the NPCs because Fable's always had a very strong social aspect in terms of like your ability to talk with NPCs or like your fame rating and other things like that. And they've showed off like various different ways you can earn an NPC's affection or earn their ire by like buying their shop out for under them or something. So it seems interesting.
I never
It
got
seems
around to playing
very
the
interesting.
one on 360 because it was like I didn't have a 360 when it came out, and like I
Yeah,
got a
and they
360
never brought them over to
fairly late.
Steam, which is a shame.
Yep.
Um, Except Anniversary. Anniversary is on Steam, but it's an old game. It's still fun though. I was actually playing through it not too long ago. Um, yeah, no, it should be fun, but there still isn't all that much to be seen, and arguably all that it's trying to be is the same experience again, if not boiled further down to what made the originals good. So it should
Right.
be fun.
Yeah, it's good to see
What about
an older title
yourself?
like that coming back. Well, as
Yeah.
you may know, I'm
I
pretty
don't.
excited for Monster Hunter Wilds expansion that got
Oh, there's an
announced.
expansion.
Oh, you know about it. Because that's all
Dude,
we've
I'm
been talking
sorry.
about. So this expansion
Maybe.
is the one that we've been waiting for a while. It's gonna
It
bring
should be fun, actually. Yeah.
Master
It's gonna bring
Rank.
Keizu.
Yep, it's the like every each
It's not
Monster
true,
Hunter
actually.
Rise and Wild, or sorry, Rise and World specifically had
Hmm.
these big expansions that, from
Yeah.
what our friend says to us, is made the game like better, and it's almost as big as the base game many times. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ben.
No, no.
Um,
I don't have as much experience with Iceborne, but I did play in Rise, its expansion, which I'm forgetting. I think it's like Daybreak or something.
Sunbreak.
Whichever it is. Um, it does add a lot, and it also comes with a heap of new monsters, which is Sunbreak. Sorry, not
Yep.
Daybreak. Um, it comes with a heap of new monsters. Master Rank adds a lot of like Master Rank monsters as well. Meaning like one of the coolest things in that regard is uh, you get a lot of Master Rank fights for normal rank monsters, and they yield not just the same armor, but usually statistically superior armor that also comes with a redesign, which is really
Right.
cool.
Similar to the
Um,
arch tempered monsters that.
yeah, yeah, it's another step up in difficulty most of the time, and also a new bit of story content for those who play Monster Hunter for the story, who is, I guess, represents like 3 people. Um, but no,
Hey, the Wild
and
story
usually,
wasn't
and
terrible.
if you want to handle this, you also get a lot of new. Usually get at least one way new thing, like new gameplay mechanic, which I think is cool because most games don't bother as much with that. There's
Yeah,
usually like something, but
so Monster Hunter Wilds Ascendance is the massive expansion for Monster Hunter Wilds, which is going to be launching in 2027. That's like the only downside to this trailer was that I saw 2027, and I was like, ah, dang. So that could be any point in 2027. But expansion is going to introduce brand new region with sky islands and floating ruins known as the Skybound
uh,
Irie. I'm watch me butcher that one. It's like saying Mitsune for those who know.
oh, I
The
love
return
Mitsune.
of classic Elder Dragons like Kushala. Oh man, I've never
Kushala
heard
Daora.
Daora. Okay, I thought that was how it was, but I was gonna butcher
Yeah,
that.
that's right.
Kushala Daora and a massive returning monster, Lao Shan Lung. If I said that
Whoa,
right
that
again,
guy's Chinese.
I hope so. What? So who was
He
teased at
sounds
the
Chinese.
end of the reveal trailer? And I hope we get like Fatalis or White Fatalis. That would be
I hope we don't.
pretty
I hope we get
sick.
Keizu.
New Master Rank quest, new boost bracer mechanic,
Yeah, that's
and
what I was talking about.
yeah, and more. The boost bracer stuff looked pretty cool. So to
Yeah,
dive in a little
that
bit,
great sword.
yes, it had a great sword, which was really cool looking. It has like a, I guess like a explosion boost thing. I don't
Yeah, it
know
adds new stuff to
exactly.
like all of the weapons, basically.
Right.
So there'll be like
Oh, okay.
new attacks for greatsword, new attacks for or yeah. Oh, but by the way, it seems it's almost like a new boost mode, right? Um, or something. The
Okay,
point
so it
is,
says
it looks really cool. If you watch the trailer, there's like some very neat looking attacks and so on. Like I know there was the light bowgun one was just actually rapid fire minigun, which I thought was crazy.
that is pretty cool. Massive expansion story of the story of the Forbidden Lands advances as the expedition team adventures and soars to new heights. Um, let's see. Ancient ruins, hidden clues about the Wyverians. Not to dive too much in
Oh.
if you're not a Monster Hunter fan, but essentially we got two confirmed Elder Dragons. Um, face a brand new pack of bird wyvern or wyvern, sorry,
Oh.
and let's see, giant bird communities. Or there's a giant
Big ass
bird,
bird.
loud cries, cool,
This game's
big
really
bird. new features and gameplay mechanics, new Sky Island locale, master rank, boost bracer. So it says adding new actions for each weapon type. These actions
Okay,
will
so
be
not exactly a
available
mode.
through the new boost bracer. Activating the boost bracer will temporarily enhance actions such as attacks, combos, and mobility, allowing for versatility in hunts. Additionally, there will be new attacks and combos not related to boost bracer and return
It's kind of
of
fun.
a classic Elder Dragon. So that's all we know right now, as far as I'm aware. I'm pretty excited. I
Coming
really
out
like
next
Monster
year,
Hunter
correct?
Wilds, despite its history. If anybody knows the history of that, it was not received very well on launch, and it did not make the money that Capcom wanted. For mainly the reason that the PC release was really hard to run, and they didn't make as much money on consoles as they thought they would. And it's been like turning lower.
Yeah,
I think at one point it was turning less revenue than Rise during
it's
like
kind of crazy, honestly.
sometime a few months ago
Rise was awesome.
on Capcom's like quarterly revenue report. Wilds was lower than Rise, which is
Man.
Capcom doesn't want to see that. So I think they're staking a lot on this expansion, and
Oh,
I think it's
certainly.
going to be really good. I think Monster Hunter Wilds is great. I really like Monster Hunter Wilds, and I it makes me want to go back and try Rise again.
Rise is good. I like Rise.
I put like 25 hours into it, and I want to restart. I think I should give it a fresh shot
Yeah.
and go at it on my own.
Whoa.
But yes, I'm
Yeah.
I'm very excited. I want more Monster Hunter. I was just playing yesterday. If you're watching, you're probably looking at gameplay from Monster Hunter right now, and my really poor longsword skills because I
Yeah, don't
can't
worry,
do
there'll
a
be good
counter to
gameplay
save my
soon.
life. I've been putting way too much time into Sword and Shield, where I'm getting really good at perfect parries.
It's
I'm
over.
I'm getting really good at perfect parries, but now if you put me in a non-shielded weapon, I suck. So it's like I'm starting like lower star fights and just trying to get longsword down, get the rhythm because longsword, at least in Wild, is a lot of rhythm. It's like okay, you want combat to kind of keep flowing rather than
Yeah.
sword and shield is like okay, there's an attack coming, I need to parry. All right, now is my window to attack. It's more of I talked to another friend of mine who I think you've met him a couple times. He said playing Sword and Shield in Wilds is you're more learning how the monster fights rather than how to use the weapon because it's a very simple weapon so you can kind of instead of trying to master the weapon, you're trying to master the monster fight. If that makes sense. Like if all my actions are shield bash and a variety of sword swipes and blocking, then I can focus on mastering that specific monster and how to counter them with with my sword and shield rather than focusing on how my specific weapon and the technicality behind my specific weapon.
Yeah.
I thought that was a pretty cool way to state it because I was saying that like sword and shield is a very simple weapon when it comes down to it. It might not
Pretty
be
cool way
like
to glaze Sword and Shield, I
it is.
guess.
It's a good way to glaze sword and shield. It's not dual blade simple, but it's pretty simple, right? Well,
I
it's
like
fun.
two blades.
It's fun. All right, so we can move past Monster Hunter, unless you had anything else you wanted to
No,
say
we
on
can't.
that.
No, it does seem cool. I will say, I'm excited to kind of get back into the game because I don't know. I find it a little hard to engage with some of like its post-release content, given that it's kind of just been a ramping difficulty. And like, don't get me wrong, I know Monster Hunter is supposed to be a challenging game, and there's plenty of people who play solely for the challenge. But I just like seeing the monsters; they're pretty cool,
Right? Yeah, they are, and Wilds is a pretty good looking
and there'll
game.
be more.
As long as you have the
There'll be more.
hardware, Wilds is a great looking game. And
Oh
I
yeah,
should have mentioned I mentioned how poorly it ran on release. The patch for performance updates, I think it was title update 4 That was their final performance update patch.
Yeah.
It is
Right.
way better than it was on release. It's way better than it was on release. So if you catch it on some sort of sale or you've been hesitant, I think it's a great game, and that's coming from somebody who hadn't really played any Monster Hunters before
Hates
that. So if you're
games.
ever like, well, I didn't play the last large quantity of Monster Hunter games, so like, can I really start with the latest? I think you can. I think it's
Yeah.
I think it's a
Monster
really,
Hunter's been always a
really
very
fun game.
approachable game. It's not like a, consistent story or anything.
Right.
And for the most part, gameplay usually does change significantly enough to the point where you're going to be relearning anyway if you're a returning fan.
That's true.
So,
That's true. Because I think I looked up. I was like, I'm gonna play Rise. How different is Sword and Shield? Oh, it's different. It's way different in Rise.
Yeah. So it's
So
always different. I think that the Generations games are like a little more samey to
Okay.
one another.
Yeah.
But,
but
I might play. But yeah,
moving
we're a
on.
little off topic.
Did you put Fire Emblem in here? But that wasn't Summer Games Fest, right? That was the Nintendo Direct.
I thought that was part of Summer's Games Fest.
No, Nintendo. So it's kind of like the E3 thing. You know how like console manufacturers used to go to E3, and then like they said, no, we're
Yeah.
gonna do PlayStation Days of Play, and Nintendo was like, no, we're
Oh,
gonna do our
everybody's doing their
Direct.
own thing still.
Yeah,
but
everybody's
Nintendo's
doing their own
thing at
thing.
least.
If you're like a first party
Well,
like Nintendo, you're
They can suck a dick.
Dude, no, their lawyers are gonna be after us now.
Dude, it's over.
Oh no, it's
Um,
over.
Well, are there other Summer Games Fest things to be talked about then?
New
What,
Stellar
what
Blade.
else is there?
New Stellar Blade.
Whoa.
I
I
liked
played that
Stellar
game.
Blade. It was very
I
fun.
didn't actually.
You didn't?
Nope.
I don't think you played it, buddy.
I just said I didn't.
So you didn't like it because you didn't play it?
No, I didn't say I didn't like it.
Oh, I thought you said.
I just said I didn't play it.
All
I
right.
said I played it, and then I said I didn't play it because I didn't.
Right, but it's on Steam. It came to Steam about a year
Dude,
after
really?
its release. Yeah, it's on Steam. And it's
Dude, really?
No.
Okay.
Anyway, now that if Ben's gonna stop trolling me and rage baiting me in some sort of way,
Dude.
Stellar Blade, made by developer Shift Up, was originally a PlayStation exclusive for about a year, and then it came to PC. And I remember hearing that Shift Up said, "Hey, for our next game, we're not pairing up with Sony this time around. We're gonna independently
Whoa.
publish this one." So they developed it, yes, but they had Sony help them publish it. This time around, they are publishing it themselves, which is
Whoa.
pretty sick. I liked the first
Break
one.
free.
I think the next one looks cool. It's got like a fist combat because in the original there was no like weapon variations.
Cool.
Yeah, you used a sword in the original, so seeing like throwing some fisticuffs looks pretty cool. New
The setting seems
protagonist
to be
Eevee.
used well. It looks very urban, which I didn't think the original Stellar Rain was.
It was think of it as more like urban like post-apocalyptic urban.
Right. But there are like some wilderness areas too, no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Um
This looks far more like focused on the, how do you say, urban side of things.
right.
Like I said,
Yeah.
at least all the
I'm
trailers
excited
in the
for
city,
it.
So I mean, hey,
That's going to be pretty cool.
it's cool to see.
Man, I need to stop saying I say that way too much. We need to get better. I need to get better at speaking. I need to get better at speaking, dude. And
you can take my class.
If you want to make money doing a podcast, please sign up for my course. This is, and I'm literally saying,
Take my class. I'm in here in my garage.
There's nothing better than new games, other than knowledge. All right, Ben, do you want to hit? Do you want to hit one of the games on our list here?
No.
Wow.
Wolverine.
Oh, you want to talk about
that.
Wolverine?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Is that still is that from? I know it's PlayStation. Does that count as Summer Games Fest?
I think it was shown off. Yes.
Okay, we'll count it.
I will say, I believe it was announced prior. I think they just showed a new trailer at Summer Games Fest.
Like people knew there was going to be a
Unless I'm
Monster Hunter
completely
DLC.
stupid. Now that one is going to be a PS5 exclusive.
It is, but I will like I just want to talk about it in the sense of it's very interesting to see another hero game. In that you always I feel like there are, generally speaking, there's Marvel rivals. There's uh like the Marvel versus Capcom games. There's plenty of like multiplayer superhero games, I guess is my point. Um but generally speaking, like outside of the Arkham games. At least they're the only one. That's the only one that comes to mind. And of course, the Spider-Man games. So that's kind of cheating because this is the same studio. Um, you don't have too many single-player superhero experiences, um, despite how received certainly the Arkham games are, but also the Sony Spider-Man games have also had, I think, some pretty glowing reviews across the board. And I mean,
Yeah,
one of them at
very
least is for me because I
positively.
think it's a really fun game to play. Well, maybe not like the most in depth or anything. That like the story elements do actually generate some interest. They're very well put together for telling a story that's already been told 1,000 times. And I do think it is in part because it does come with a lot of freedom to adapt the certain elements in the way you want and to revitalize characters or just to take from your like favorite comic showing and create it into its own universe. And also Yuri Lowenthal voices Spider-Man, and he's cool.
Well,
I
I
like that
think
guy.
one of the reasons that Spider-Man was so successful
Yeah.
is it was one of the few open world games that you could say solved the like boring traversal problem. Like, oh, it's boring to
Mm.
traverse this massive world because it was fun to swing around the map, right? It was fun
Yeah.
and they made
Yeah.
it fun, and that was part of it. It's like, man, it's so fun to just start web swinging. Like that's what drove a lot of people to
Right,
play the
right.
game.
And
So
traverse.
while I think a lot of people are going to play Wolverine because if they nail the combat, keep it brutal, like
Mhm.
you said,
Oh yeah, no, if you look at the trailer, it's crazy.
they should also. I hope they nail the traversal. If they're going to do open world, they need to make sure it's not a hold left stick to go forward type of
Right. Although it's
traversal.
hard to tell from what I've seen of the game, because, unlike Spider-Man, obviously, Wolverine isn't exactly like a city tier hero. He's a little in a different league, a little bigger. So a lot of it looks, at least in the trailer, seems to be in um varying locations of like, potentially different zones or missions or so on. So I would imagine, at least in part, because like you said, Spider-Man, part of almost at the core of his powers is his ability for traversal, whereas Wolverine's powers are that he can't be killed literally, and he has funny little claws that shoot out of his hands, probably amongst other things that comic fans are going to be upset I didn't mention. Um, but I think they might acknowledge that and take a shift to a more less open world, more maybe like semi-open world where you have like different zones you can travel to, kind of
Well,
like
I need to I
probably
need
not
to cut
exactly
in
like
here
Inquisition.
because I need to
Yeah.
correct myself. Apparently, last week it was confirmed that Marvel's Wolverine will be linear and not open world. Insomniac
Well, there you go.
confirmed that it will be. This is from the game director Mike Daly. I can say we did not set out to make an open world game or a sandbox game. What we really
Mhm.
wanted was a high octane linear single player adventure, and the missions
Hmm.
reflect that in their structure.
Okay, so yeah, it is more mission based, which I think still has a great opportunity to be a good time. Um, Especially, I said I think they are honestly very competent story writers, and certainly in a linear game, I mean the story all becomes all the more focus.
Right.
Uh,
And in a Wolverine game, you're going to want good action, good
right,
combat, and a
right.
tight story. Whereas in a Spider Man game, you're going to want to be able to swing around a huge city and explore.
I've
So,
seen this actually. That's what's in the game.
yes. So if they get a good narrative, if it's going to be like a God of War game, I think it will still hit.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
shame that PlayStation has decided to stop bringing their games to PC because they were for a while. They were bringing
Mm,
God of War. They brought
yeah,
Spider-Man over to Steam
and then they
recently. I
started to
think we
get hurt
talked
by the
about it in
console
a
sales.
yeah, it was hurting their console sales. We talked about it in a previous episode that Sony said, "No, no more. We're done doing that. It's not making us it's not as lucrative as we initially thought. So we're done bringing our games
We
over to
want more
Steam."
money.
So we might not see this game on PC, which is unfortunate because I'm not buying a PS5.
At least not anytime soon. But
Yeah,
I think
especially with the price
I would
increases.
imagine they still are willing to eventually release on PC like they have with, say, the God of War games and other stuff like that to,
Probably, I would
hit
say
the
it's
other
it's not going
market.
to be the 1 year that we saw before.
No, no,
It
no. It'll probably be like a few.
they will do it once, maybe once like PS6 is out or something, or but even then, when they do their new consoles, they're going to make it backwards compatible most likely, so they're still going to want to cash in on that.
Oh, well, sure.
They're going to wait
But I think
until
they can,
revenue is at an
yeah,
all-time low and then be like, okay, we
right.
can make a quick
Until they
buck if
can
we
determine that they're going to have already made the most money off console sales for people willing to buy the game and the console,
Yep.
and then shift to actually say, you know, maybe everybody can have the game.
Yep. So that's going to be a few months. That's going to be a few months.
If not a few years.
Oh, sorry. I meant to say a few years, not a few months.
Dude, who is this guy?
Dude, is this guy real?
Can we fire this guy already?
Yep, this is my last. I'm putting in my 2 weeks because I'm going to be playing Valheim 1.0, baby. Let's
Oh,
go. We're getting out
play
of
that
early
game.
access. This is
Play that
exciting for
game.
me. I like
Dude,
Valheim. I miss the times
a
where
lot of
we
people
would
don't.
we would do the Valheim sessions, man.
No, yeah. It is nice. It's I definitely think Valheim deserves a lot of credit for being arguably one of the most accessible open world survival craft games out there. Because I feel like it has it has more going for it in terms of like combat, I would say, and other like interesting mechanics than most open world survival games. Like, don't get me wrong, it does borrow a lot from the same playbook. But to cite a prevalent example, something like Ark. Ark is solely focused on taming dinosaurs. If you don't like that, you're probably not going to like Ark.
Right.
Whereas Valheim is more combat focused. It is more traditionally adventure based, and a lot of open world survival class games are. But I think Valheim does it in such a way that allows, because I would almost call it a tad Dark Souls like in terms of like, you know, there's a lot of parry. There's a good like block system. Uh,
Copper and upgrades and
yeah, and there is solid progression system as well. Good bit of building. So there are things to appeal to every side. And I don't get me wrong, that is true of most open world survival craft. But I would argue, personally at least, that it has somewhat greater reach in its just in the way that it's designed.
yeah, it's coming to Steam, Windows Store, surprisingly enough. I guess that means it will be
Whoa.
playable on Steam OS, like non-Windows Steam
Right.
devices, PS5,
Yeah.
Switch 2, Xbox Series X and S, and Xbox One. So it's not just an Xbox
Whoa.
Series title. It's gonna be ran on last gen. Interestingly enough, the PS4 is not on that list.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
will
interesting
say,
that
I
Xbox
honestly,
One's on there, but PS4 is not.
hmm, another how do you say, another point for Valheim, of course, is and there is like a slight trend in the indie scene of this, but certainly definitely not in the AAA side, is that it is a game I would say that relies more on style than it does like sheer graphical impressiveness. You know, Valheim is very purposefully kind of low res, um, and like, you know, trying to look a little retro. But honestly, that style is very well thought out and complements at least in my mind, a lot of the games feel, but more notably, by going for a style that is more, how do you say, ungraphically intensive, that you can appeal to a wider range, and that's probably part of the reason why it even functions on some of the older Xboxes instead of these graphics monsters that keep coming out.
Yeah, because it's not a graphically intensive game.
It's style over, yeah, sheer
Which is like,
realisticness.
yeah, it's like that's the indie game like bread and butter.
Generally speaking, yeah.
I
But
did
no,
see
it's cool.
there's a grappling hook.
Whoa,
People
that's
are
like
happy about the
Spider-Man.
grappling hook. Well, remember the traversal in Valheim? Getting over mountains and or not mountains, like hills, was kind of difficult. All right,
Well, yeah.
grappling hook.
There are like mounts and such as well, I believe, but
Yeah, moose.
very
You can
progressive,
ride the
or you have
moose,
to unlock over time. Yeah, yeah.
but gamers love grappling hooks. I love grappling
True,
hooks.
actually.
Interesting thing to note here. This comes out in September. Wolverine comes out in September. There's a lot of games dropping in September. The September Thunderdome is
Dude.
real because
Yeah.
every game is trying to avoid the GTA 6 release.
Yeah, it's for good reason.
Yeah, because if you release a game, if you're an indie developer or you're any developer, honestly, and you release a game the same month GTA 6 comes out, you will not sell your game. Just straight up, you will not sell your game.
Like as not.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate, but that's just how it is. Well, Ben, do you have any other games that you wanna speak on?
No,
We
I
can
have
run
not.
through the list. We can do some quickies.
Yeah.
Let's run through the list. Let's see. We got a list here of the 25 most exciting games of Summer Game Fest 2026.
Dude, now they're gonna know we stole it from Game Informer.
Yeah, well, aren't they like the GameStop people? Can we really trust
I
them?
have no idea.
Okay. I'm pretty sure their magazine is the one that, like, if you had a GameStop membership, you used to
Oh,
get their magazine.
yeah, that sounds. I don't know.
Yeah, and then I'd like never
I
read
can't say
them.
I know, but that sounds believable.
Yeah. So, Burn 9, a Metal Gear Solid
Yeah.
inspired game. Let's see.
It's it seems interesting in the way that it's meant to be less like you're directly in the action, but you are rather an operator, and you're commanding um somebody to undertake the missions that you're assigned.
Yeah, this says your job is to guide the last survivor of an elite Black Ops team after a mission has gone terribly wrong. When a top secret
Yeah.
military research facility in the Antarctic goes dark, an elite strike force of cybernetically enhanced Black Ops super soldiers is dispatched to investigate and secure Burn 9 at all costs. Minutes into the mission, the helicopter's shot down. There's one survivor, and you're her only lifeline. No, no.
And her name's Dodo. That's pretty funny.
Oh, it is.
At least her code name.
That's pretty cool. Launches this year on PC. Moving on.
It looks cool. It seems very story focused, suffice to say. But it
Sounds
seems
cool.
like, one of those neat like conflict of interest where your bosses are telling you, we got to get her out of there. She's an asset. And while you're, she's talking to you and saying, what the hell is going on? So it's, you have to like make some decisions assumedly, whether you prioritize the mission or prioritize your new little friend whose life is in your very hands. So it seems
True.
neat.
Yeah. Yeah, that does sound pretty interesting. I hadn't really heard about it until now. New Castlevania.
Me neither. Yeah.
It says it
Um,
was Evil Empire is the developer who worked on Dead Cells.
Yeah. And it's Castlevania DLC. So that in itself is exciting to me. Because Dead Cells is a very, very fun game.
Game is real, looks as good as you'd expect.
The game is real?
Yeah, the game is real, and it will be out on October 15th. October 15th. Wow, these are a lot of these games are like coming soon. Got to get ahead of that GTA 6 release. Let's
Very pretty
see.
looking game so far,
Ooh,
as far
Clutch.
as I can tell.
Clutch is on this list. I actually heard about this game. So
Whoa.
it is a story driven racing game. So it's not your Forza
Oh.
Horizon, which is like your open
You
world
get to
racing. It's a story driven racing game.
and you get to
Now
play
the key,
Dom Toretto.
the key to this is apparently the development studio are like ex Forza devs
Mm.
from what I saw, and now they're making this game. There's going to be a lot of cool customization with the cars. There's a lot of different things that I kind of wish Forza had in terms of cosmetic customizations on the cars. I think Forza Horizon 6 kind of dropped the ball on some of the body kit customization for the cars. But
Mm.
so this is a story driven driving game. Geez, that's a weird sentence. Essentially, it's a story of sibling racers competing in a historic racing series called the R1K. And these are sanctioned, legal, rule following, boring events. But on the other side, in the night, there's an underground racing circuit that's all about style.
Oh.
And our story finds our protagonist in trouble and the trying to be tempted into
It's
illegal and
evil.
dangerous races. Cool.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds pretty sick. I'm probably going to give it a try depending on the price. It's coming out spring of 2027, so I got a while to look at that. It
Want to
says
get tired of Forza.
they're promising says Maverick Games promises shifting alliances, rival crews, and
Mm.
a living
Oh,
PvPvE world. Handcrafted
interesting.
missions, lush, detailed open world sandbox. So it is an open world. Sorry, but it's more story
Okay. And
focused.
it does look like there is some multiplayer aside from the main campaign.
Right.
So that seems neat.
Yeah, Forza, let's be honest, nobody's playing Forza Horizon for the story. The stories
Oh, and
have
it's
been
founded
bad for a while.
by the director of Forza Horizon 5, who's trying
Yes.
to the studio. That's kind of neat.
Yeah, Maverick Games.
May have already said that.
Well,
I
yeah, ex Forza devs.
yeah.
Founded by Forza Horizon 5 director Mike Brown. Now, I'm just going to be honest. Forza Horizon 5 from a Forza Horizon 5 was not amazing. It was good, but the Forzas before it were better. So there was a lot of bland parts of the open world. There were things that it could have done better, things that Horizon 6 does do better. So I don't know if
Whoa.
I'd put like when the whole community kind of agrees that Forza Horizon 5 is not good in comparison to 3 and 2 and 1 and 4 and especially 6. I don't know if I'd put Forza Horizon 5 director in front of my name, but
Well,
it
that's why
could be
somebody wrote
good.
the article, not him.
Right. All right, moving
But yeah,
on.
yeah, definitely having a story focus. Actually, um, I'm gonna go back up a little.
Really?
There is another new game, which I didn't realize how excited I should be for, but now I do because I actually bothered to look it up. Clockwork Revolution. It is, by the look of it, a first-person RPG, which with like a heist-centered focus. So very, um, say not like Payday, but there's like a big mission you have to complete. Maybe a little cyberpunk in that way. Um, in the sense of at least like the first hour or so where you're bothering to like plan the investigation and go and storm the big tower, Arasaka Tower. I remember, I played it. But no, the more exciting thing about this game in my mind at least is it's made by inXile. inXile notably um also made the second Wasteland game and the third, which I haven't given as much time of day to, but it's a very fun game, but notably not a first person RPG. It is a top down, more CRPG. Classic stuff, like Baldur's Gate or something of that ilk. So it's interesting to see them expand out into something arguably beyond their normal focus. Uh but it seems in general theming to be maybe a little goofy, but also quite notably very like steampunk, very Dishonored in the sense of its setting, big urban city that you get to run around and explore while trying to presumably rob somebody. Oh.
I also see that it's got time travel
Also, looks like there's
mechanics.
time travel. Yeah,
Whoa, dude. Are we on the same
that's
wavelength
kind of
right now?
fun.
Yeah, it looks like you can move back and forth through time, makes changes to the cities decades earlier, and the
That's actually
results become
really cool.
apparent when you travel back to the present.
Because legitimately, one of my favorite things about like different game franchises, say Dragon Age, Witcher, is the changes you make or choices you make in previous games being reflected into the next game. Whereas something like this could give you the opportunity to make choices in this game that reflect back in the game itself through time travel. Although
Interesting point.
obviously, I think it does have the potential to be kind of like the brain dance system, where it's just
Oh,
like,
right.
and Cyberpunk, where it kind of gets brought up once in a blue moon. It's like, oh, you can use this to time travel,
Well, I
and
hope
then
they
you go
lean
back and
into it.
solve a singular problem.
They got to do a Sonic
Yeah, it just
CD.
depends on how big it'll be.
Sonic CD where you can go.
Sonic CD.
Yeah, Sonic CD where you can go back in time and go like in the zones and go into the future, and depending on if you like beat the bosses in the level in the past, it would determine if you had
Mm,
like the good future or the bad future.
it's
It
gonna
was
be,
yeah,
yeah,
it was,
yeah.
and for a Genesis game or a Sega CD game, I'm
Right, right.
sorry, it was pretty cool. Now, interesting note I want
Yeah.
to mention for Clockwork Revolution. This is one of the small handful of games that Xbox is pulling back on its cross compatibility approach. So Xbox has been
Mm.
pretty transparent with their games. They're like, yeah, it's our in house, but we're gonna bring it to PlayStation. We're not doing Xbox exclusives anymore. This is going to be an Xbox console exclusive. I don't know if that means, does that mean it's not coming to PC? At least on its launch?
If it's not, I won't play it.
Yeah. Well, because it in my eyes, right? I'd always thought, okay, if it's an
Yeah,
Xbox exclusive, it's coming to PC. Every Xbox
yeah.
game, Halo, Forza, all the other maybe two more Xbox exclusive. Oh wait, don't they have Bethesda? They all come to Steam day
Oh,
one. Day
oh,
one on
yeah. No,
Steam.
so far so good at
Are they
least.
not going to do that? Is the question. It makes me wonder. Are they
It's a great
new Xbox
question.
CEO? Are they going to start prioritizing exclusives again to potentially sell boxes? I don't know. And are they going to treat Windows? Can you buy it on the Windows Store? And is that considered buying it from Microsoft? I don't know. For a while, you could buy Forza on the Windows Store before it was on Steam,
Whoa,
and you could play it on
whoa.
Windows. So maybe they'll do that.
Hmm.
Will it be on
Maybe.
PC Game Pass? Will it just be on Xbox Game Pass? I don't know, but very interesting to see that
Only time will
they're doing
tell.
that.
Yeah,
Maybe
it definitely
only
a different
because
approach. Maybe not even a better one.
they started putting their games on PlayStation, and PlayStation was just like, "Yeah, we're not gonna give you our games, buddy." Like
Wow. Yeah,
so many games that just
kind
like
of
are
rude.
on
Think
PlayStation
of
and
it.
PC, and it's just like, "Oh no, it's not on the Xbox. It's on the Switch though." Like,
Looking at the trailer a little more, it does also seem very BioShock. In the sense of like your epic time travel gauntlet also has like magic powers and you can throw shit at people. So it should be fun.
that
I
sounds
like
pretty
throwing
fun.
shit at people. No, it looks cool. It looks like a fun game. If it comes off Xbox.
It won't. No, it probably will.
No. Yeah, eventually.
We already spoke on Fable. Did you want to talk on any of these other
We
ones?
did.
I see Final Fantasy, Final Fantasy VII Revelation,
Yeah, they're finally finishing their
finishing their game. They're finishing their
reboot, remake,
remake.
whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
Yeah, so Square
Very brave of them
Enix,
to, make a full game. Uh
because there was Final Fantasy VII remake, then there was the remake interlude or something like that,
I believe
which
that's right.
was not, that was like the midway or something. I don't know, or it was like a,
Yeah.
and okay, Rebirth.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, Rebirth is the remaster is back. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So this is they're finally finishing Final Fantasy VII remaster or remake or
It's kind of
rebirth,
brave of them.
or reincarnation. Anyway, good to see they're finally finishing it. When did they release the first part? I feel like it's been a long time.
It's been a while. 2022. And ultimately, all you have to pay.
Oh boy.
um,
What if I want what?
it's
Tell
the
me how
first
much
one's
do I have to pay?
$40.
Okay, 40
The
for the
second
first one.
one's $50, and this one is probably going to be $50 again.
You think it's gonna be 50 and not 70?
If I were to take a guess.
Because
So far, it does seem like they're trying to compensate for the fact that they're giving you the same game 3 times instead of 1.
Well, does it come
but
with the other ones? Or they're probably gonna sell a pack,
no,
right? Are they gonna? Oh,
they're probably going to sell them all together, certainly, and that'll be at a discount. But by the look of it, you are still going to have to buy all 3. The
I
first one was
think
40, the second one is 50. So either they're going to make this one 60 or 70, or they're going to stick to 50. I would say
60 or 70, dude. Don't say that.
it could happen. That
I
would be
wanna
only
see-
$150 to play one game.
Let's see. With Final Fantasy VII Revelation coming to all platforms. Okay, well that's cool that it's coming to all platforms. I'm just wondering if there's gonna be like a combo game. Probably not until later. They'll probably release this initially.
Yeah.
And then they'll probably release
And then
like
release
a
the other one for like
ultimate pack.
$200 or whatever.
$120, you get the entire game.
You can play the game whole. It's a
Great.
whole game now.
Yeah, because like, why would you buy this if you hadn't played the other two?
You
guess
wouldn't.
Yeah, you wouldn't. So there's going to be a
You haven't
pack.
played the other two.
There's probably going to be. I am interested to play the entire thing now that it's like finally.
Yeah, I mean the game.
completed.
I have seen like some gameplay through streamers and such, and it does seem cool. It is definitely a very influential RPG in its own right.
I started it when the first part came to PC. It came to Epic Games.
Maybe I should pick up. Honestly, we'll see. I have plenty of other JRPGs to play though, so maybe not. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, just play the PS. Was it on PS2 or 1? PS2, right? Or 1?
Yeah. I believe it. I know.
It was one of them, right? 1997.
It was on a PlayStation, likely.
This is it's a lie. I like how Google says initial release January 31st, 1997, but then it says platforms Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4. Okay.
No.
It was PS1
Released
then.
on the Nintendo Switch.
What about it's on the PSP?
Dude,
and
Wuthering
Microsoft
Waves
Windows.
and Cyberpunk Edge Runners.
Why does this say iOS? Wait, what'd you say about Wuthering Waves Cyberpunk Edge Runners?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a collab that's going on right now. You can get Rebecca for free or something. Where are you seeing this?
That's kind of fun. I was at Games Fest, trust.
Oh, what? Oh, okay. Yeah, you can get Rebecca for free if you play Wuthering Waves. Still not going to download it though.
Not sponsored. Okay.
I'm still not going to download it though.
Well, now we're not sponsored for sure.
For sure. Wuthering Waves. It's cool. I like Cyberpunk Edge Runners, but
I like
I'm not going to go play a gacha game for 2 characters.
But yeah, Final Fantasy. I definitely could be worth checking out. But definitely a little questionable to remaster a game in 3 games.
Don't just change the topic. Why'd you bring up Cyberpunk Edge Runners and Wuthering Waves?
Because I can.
I'm seeing Fire Emblem on this list. Maybe they did announce Fire Emblem at
Maybe they did.
No, it just says okay, it says right here, trailer in the recent Nintendo Direct.
All right, well, look, you let the cat out of the bag now.
New Fire Emblem, baby, and I had a thing pulled up. I had notes on this. Here we go. Officially slated for Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive September 17th, getting in front of GTA 6. Yeah. Because who else is
Not too long. Are they only like what, 3 months?
Yeah, the September Thunderdome is only 3 months away. There's going to be 4 playable protagonists. You can choose between 4 different main characters. Kai, is that how you say that? C-A-I? Is that Kai?
Probably.
Theodora, Lita, and dude, how do I say it? Dietrich?
Dietrich.
Dietrich. Wow, okay. Each offering a completely unique
German.
story. So this
Amazing.
is stepping away from the self-insert Corrin, Robin, and because Robin was Corrin was
The
Fire
green one,
Emblem
Byleth.
Fates,
Yeah,
Conquest, and Birthright, and then Robin was Fire Emblem Awakening, right? Yes, and then Byleth was Three Houses.
Byleth.
Byleth, yes, and then
Good game.
was there one
I think
between
that's
that?
the only.
No.
There was Engage.
Oh yeah, Engage. All three people who played Fire Emblem Engage.
I.
We're gonna
It
get a
is
ton of hate for
crazy
that.
because I feel like that is a game that I have heard no one talk about. Um,
They had like a blue and red
but they're
haired
still going,
protagonist. Like
dude.
um
Tylenol haired protagonist.
setting is the game returns to the era of Fire Emblem Three Houses. The plot revolves around a tournament where the winner gets a wish granted by the ruler, bringing the titular Fire Emblem into play.
Titular.
I can't read. Characters expect to see familiar faces from Three Houses, including. Okay, so that's pretty cool. We'll
No, it's the
probably
characters of Three Houses. I didn't know that.
gameplay, turn-based combat. It's gonna be your classic Fire
What?
Emblem turn-based combat. Free time structure. Wow. Do you
I
think
thought
they're
they were
gonna
going
bring
to
back?
change it.
Do you think they're gonna bring back like having kids?
That is a good question. Given that one of your characters is a kid, I would bet on no.
Oh,
But maybe.
I didn't.
It
I
would be
didn't look
cool
at
to
the
see because that
characters.
is definitely a feature a lot of fans of the series did enjoy, but has been, I think, absent from the last two games. I couldn't tell you if it was in Engage, but I would wager it wasn't because I figure people would have talked about it then.
I see the picture of the
um,
characters now. I see what you're talking about.
but yeah, I will say it's a very neat concept to have to go from this more solo, you're the guy and you get to choose the way the story unfolds and you're the most important dude ever, to a more maybe somewhat grounded um story focus where you have these four different campaigns which are going to clearly have four different outcomes based on different characters. Assumedly, each character, aside from being their own dude, is also going to have unique followers. But there's also, like, I imagine, kind of like with Three Houses, there's going to be some overlap where you can, if you do, because I think since it is a tournament, one of the cool things, at least I'm excited for, is you're probably going to fight the other playable characters as the character you choose, and maybe even recruit them to your party based on how lethal this tournament is. So
that's
it's a
pretty
cool
sick.
idea, I think, to like have a different reason for fighting because obviously a lot of the Fire Emblem games are very war focused, and I imagine it'll like this, the how do you say scope will widen as the game goes on. But to have a more like you are doing this for one particular goal that you already know, there's no like secret threat, there's no hidden power that you have to await. It's just like, yeah, I want to wish so I can do what I want to do.
Not that you know. There's probably some like political
No, I said there
stuff
probably
going
is going
on.
to be a widening of scope over time. But it is cool and like, I think on one page I saw they had like the characters' bios listed, and they were pretty drastically different. I think like the kid is trying to get his grandpa out of jail, so whatever. The Dietrich guy, he's trying to find like just a more powerful opponent, so he's going to be fun. Just
Goku?
some guy who wants to fight everybody. um, and then I think one of the ladies is trying to like do something for her peoples, and the other one is like out for revenge. So there's a
Whoa.
lot of like different motivations that would be even outside of like wanting to see how the different characters play would give you a different reason for exploring their story. So it seems cool. I like this approach.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be pretty good. Three Houses was good.
Oh
I
yeah, I like
liked
Three
Fire
Houses a lot.
Emblem Conquest and Birthright.
And
Fates,
I
sorry.
have heard people say, from what little I do know about Engage, the combat in Engage was great. Some people have said like the best in the series. So if we see some of
Really?
that and preferably some of the storytelling of Three Houses, this could be one of the better, if
Peak.
not the best games in the series. Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm excited to see it. Another September release date.
It
Do
looks
you
cool.
wanna talk on Gears of War E-Day? I mean, I never really
I've
played Gears of
played
War.
Gears of War.
You have?
Nope.
You're gonna play Gears of
Uh,
War E-Dating?
yep. I love e-dating.
And it's coming to
No, I mean,
PS5. That's funny.
yes.
Oh wait, no, that was Gears of War Reloaded that came to PS5.
Okay, never mind.
Oh, Xbox said it's gonna be console exclusive. Oh, that includes PC. There it is, boys.
Maybe that includes
If it's
PC
an
for the other
Xbox
ones. Huh?
console exclusive, it includes PC.
Certainly would be strange to see a lot of that
Everything is an
coming up.
Xbox.
People trying to get more and more consoles becoming more and more desperate for sales, which certainly is the case.
Because everybody wants to buy a console right now, of course.
Yeah, exactly. That's why they're doing it, is so they're getting more money out of a profitable industry. It's not a desperate last plea to keep their industry alive.
Xbox is
Um,
also doing Halo Campaign Evolved, which
yes,
is
they're doing a remake. Holy
they're remaking the campaign from Combat Evolved. Will it have the same
which is
bugs
cool. I
for
mean,
speed running? That'd be pretty funny if it
yes.
did.
No, yeah, I mean it definitely looks pretty to their credit. It's certainly a revamp. I mean, I don't think you'd ever see Combat Evolved looking like this outside of a remake.
Yeah. We did see Persona 6. We knew
Yes,
this was coming.
all a minute and 24 seconds of it. Oh, sorry, 25.
Yeah, Persona 6, as many predicted, is green, following Persona 3's blue, Persona 4's yellow, and Persona
Dude,
5's red.
dude. I think the first game was purple. I saw somebody complaining about that. Somebody was complaining that this one wasn't purple, and then a guy in the comment was like, "Actually, Persona 1 was purple, so fuck you." So, but yeah, they
Dude.
don't show off much. It's kind of just a long panning shot of a graveyard. What's up?
Right. Oh, no, I was just saying. Keep going.
Dude. But at least what a lot of people have taken this to be is kind of a return to form for the Persona series, because something that some people have complained about, at least to my understanding, is that the Persona went soft. They don't have Hitler in anymore. By the way, Hitler was in Persona, if you didn't know, which is pretty cool. He was the bad guy, notably. But no, the more relevant thing here is it is supposed to be returned to form. By the trailer, it does look like it's trying to be a pretty gritty game. It's trying to be a little more serious, a little more clear in its tone, deep. I'm 16 and this is deep. Um, Admittedly, I will say, showing off like your trailer just being of a spooky looking graveyard does make you seem a little more edgy than serious. But I mean, edgy isn't necessarily a bad thing.
I mean, Persona 3 was pretty edgy, all things considered. At
Yeah,
the start.
exactly, and that's why most people consider it a return to form.
Right. Yeah, I
Um,
think it could be really good.
I think it can be interesting. I do. I think I've mentioned this in a couple conversations already, but it is one of those things where when you do have such a drastic change in a series, and not only a drastic change in a series, but a drastic change that results in a breakout like Persona 5 becoming such a huge game, bringing the series arguably, like, it was known, but it was never as popular as it is now. I think that's fair to say. Um, because of 5. And if
Yeah.
you do change tones so drastically, I do feel like you might compromise some of your larger audience. So it's definitely
There
a
is
brave
a
decision.
large crowd that has only played Persona 5, me being one of them. Well, that's not entirely true.
Jeez.
I
Poser.
never finished it, but I played about 40 45 hours of Persona 3 Reload.
I need to do that. I actually am not. But
I need to finish
so yeah,
the game.
it's a brave direction. It's definitely not what you would expect from, a AAA company that has already made a successful game. You'd think they just keep producing more of what already worked, but
Yeah,
we'll see.
I mean,
If
they
this is
milked
just as
Persona
successful
5
as the
for a
last.
while.
Oh well, yeah, and people are certainly very excited for 6. So I think
Yes.
it's suffice to say, regardless of how drastically they change the direction they're going, I don't think it's going to be a game that doesn't sell.
Yep.
But whether or not it's remembered fondly, time will tell.
You know what I want to mention? You know a game I want to mention.
Persona 4 Revival.
That is coming, which I'm kind of excited for because
Yeah,
while Persona 4 Golden
I
Steam
don't know,
was cool, I wanted to see a remaster.
dude. I don't know if I mean it's only probably the only reason we're seeing this is because of how well Persona 3 Revival did on numbers and so on. Um, Something I've been having a hard time determining is if Persona the Revival is changing the voice actors, because I think it is.
Oh, really?
There was some drama around when the first leaks happened of Persona for Revival that different voice credits were registered. And I listening to the trailer, the people do sound different. The characters don't sound the same. They sound like they're, trying to be the same.
They
But
sound like impersonation.
I guess probably it just and maybe that's just my ear throwing me off. But some of them do sound different. So personally, having played a good bit of the Steam port, if I do go for Revival, it will be a little jarring to hear, like, those different characters with different or same characters, different voices. And I don't understand why they would switch the voice actors in the first place, because I think they did a great job in
Wasn't
4.
there a lot
Once
of
again,
like
Yuri Lowenthal.
well, wasn't there a lot
Yeah.
of voice actor like riding and not riding like what's the word? Oh man, what's the word? They like
Union
unionizing and like asking for things and game companies aren't giving them,
striking.
so they're striking. Yes. Yeah, there was a
Well,
lot
the
of
thing
voice
is,
actor
this wouldn't even
strikes, right?
be this wouldn't be a repeat performance from those same voice actors, assumedly. It would just be, using the same file. I don't know.
I
Maybe
don't
it is
think
a matter
so.
of they don't have the rights to it anymore. I mean, maybe they would just record all the audio, but that feels a little silly.
Did they? I don't
I don't
think
know.
they. I don't think they reused the audio for 3 Reload. I don't. I don't think they
Maybe they didn't.
re-voiced, or I don't think they just ported it in and just put the same voice acting in. I'm pretty sure they re-recorded. I can verify
Maybe they
that.
did.
Did
I would say, but yeah, I don't know. I think it's a little strange. Definitely, since the voice cast hasn't died, to just go for entirely different voice actors. Maybe it is a strike related thing. But
yes, Persona 3 Reload completely re-recorded its entire voiceover script from scratch.
wow, does it say whether or not it's the same voice actors?
The English dub for Reload was also entirely recasted.
Really? Huh. So maybe this is a trend I just wasn't aware of. But yeah, for anybody who has played the original, for Persona 3, I think would be a lot less than Persona 4, given its availability.
Oh, this looks like
Um,
a choice, actually. It looks like they had a lot of the original OG voice actors show
yeah,
up
that's what I
in
saw. Is there's
NPC roles.
weird.
And so, like, Easter egg slash
Yeah,
cameos.
yeah, cameo. But yeah,
But in the Japanese
from what
dub,
I
the
what they do
original
show of the
cast
voice
returned.
acting, huh? Weird. What they show of the voice acting in the Persona 4 Rival trailer is worse. To be honest, I don't like it.
I didn't
Especially
notice
like
with
Teddy. Teddy
3.
sounds awful.
Oh, really? I gotta go listen to that.
He's not awful, just not at all like what he should sound like. It's weird. I don't like it.
All
But
right. Well,
it's a very pretty looking game. So hey.
Minecraft Dungeons 2.
Oh, oh.
I like how this headline here says neat but boring. That's
Are
kind
they
of what
wrong?
Minecraft Dungeons 1
Oh, dude,
was.
Ocarina of Time remake though.
Oh, right. I mean, I guess if we're going to talk Nintendo, yeah, Ocarina of
We've
Time
talked about
remake.
a lot of remakes
I
already.
think we've
Put
been
that in there.
I think Ocarina of Time deserved this though. I mean, it
No, I
got
mean
3D.
it's a classic.
It got the
Yeah.
3DS remake already, or
Yeah,
or
yeah.
Ocarina of Time 3D on the 3DS. I think it deserves a port at least up to current consoles.
It'd be nice.
I will finally play all the way
Um,
through another game. I mean, I was pretty young
whoa.
when I played it on 3DS. I never finished it. I just couldn't figure it out because I was a dummy, and still am.
Was? Oh,
Still am. All right, is there any more
dude,
games
I'm
you want
sorry.
to talk on, or do we want to move
Um,
on?
I guess I will mention, for at least that one guy we know, Xenoblade is getting its big port over to Switch 2 for 1 through 3, which have already been released on the original Switch, as well as Xenoblade Genesis, an entirely new game in the Xenoblade franchise. So that's fun.
And is that one switched
Certainly, there's going to
to?
be, yeah. I think I assume it they Switch 2 exclusive. Um,
Probably.
there's a magic military school. You live inside a planet, so it's like flat Earth, except not. It seems neat. It's very cryptic for a trailer. But I think a lot of people are going to be excited to see a new Xenoblade.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's one of those big Nintendo IPs that a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
like. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people excited for it.
Game
I'm
looks
not
pretty for
surprised
what
it's
it's worth.
Switch 2. I'm kind of I'm glad to see that they're actually taking advantage of their new hardware and it's not just kind
They're
of like what
releasing games for the Switch 2.
it's not what the PS5 was. You know the whole joke about PS5 has no
The
games is
Switch 2
cuz
has games,
yes, but what I'm trying to say
or at
is
least it will have games.
the PS5 was very, oh, it's on PS4 and it's also on PS5. Oh, it's on PS4, it's also on PS5. Didn't take Nintendo
Right.
long to. They did that a little bit. They did it with Pokemon, but the newer Pokemon Winds and Waves is going to be Switch 2 exclusive. They didn't do it for
Yeah.
long, which is nice. If you're listening and you don't have a Switch 2, but you want a Switch 2, Nintendo did. We talked about their price increases. I did not mention
Yeah.
when we talked about their price increases that they will be going up in September. They like projected it. They
Yep.
said September is when our price. So if you plan on buying one and you want one, I'm not saying like you got
Yeah.
to go get one now. They're
Put the
going to go up.
pressure. Put the pressure on them.
It'd be better if you want to play any of these games like Fire Emblem, Xenoblade, Pokemon that are coming to Switch 2 exclusive. It'd be a good idea to pick that up sooner rather than later if you don't want to pay the extra $50. It's going from 450 to 500. If you don't really care all that much and you're willing to wait, whatever. But I think that's a lot of games. I think we talked about a lot of new releases. Do we want to talk real? Let's talk real briefly on Computex
Among
wrapped
Us.
up.
Oh yeah, right.
I've got a couple things I want to talk on. Intel is coming out with their new chip. It is the Intel Arc
Mm.
G3 Extreme that's going to be coming to gaming handhelds. It
Whoa.
supposedly can match the Ryzen Z2 Extreme, which is the current flagship, like best of the best handheld processor. It's in the Lenovo Legion Go 2, and I think the ROG Xbox Ally X has the Z2 Extreme. It's the most powerful handheld chip out there right now. Supposedly, this Intel chip is supposed to match that performance, but instead of at 35 watts, at 17 watts. So better battery life from the looks of it, which has been the main complaint about these PC handhelds. It's like, man, I can play Stellar Blade at like a great frame rate and great resolution. I can play Forza Horizon 6 on this handheld. Boy, it dies fast on battery. So maybe this is the answer. And then there was some cool water coolers that got announced at Computex. Honestly, not too much to go into there. It's cool coolers and Corsair Nightsword V2 wireless. Yeah. Oh, and there's an SD edition for Steam Deck for Steam
Whoa.
Deck integrated gaming mouse with dedicated Steam
Whoa.
button. Whoa.
Whoa.
Asus ROG gaming router. Whoa.
I love dedicated Steam, but
That's about it from that. And then the last topic we got is Apple had their keynote on Monday. It was an AI keynote.
oh yeah,
It was an AI keynote.
cool.
It was all about AI. that's that's really it.
Dude. Here on the GGA podcast, we love AI.
I mean, that was pretty much it. It was an AI keynote. It's just funny to see because like 2 years ago, Apple announced Apple Intelligence, which is funnily enough Apple Intelligence AI. Funny, funny.
Oh,
Yeah, funny acronym, dude.
oh,
When you say AI, you're not talking about Apple Intelligence, and it never came out. It was bad.
it was pretty cool. I
Currently,
like that part.
like current Siri for a while was just like, "Hey, I can't answer that. Would you like me to ask ChatGPT?" And it wasn't even like
Spell out.
running.
Spell out.
It would then immediately reach out directly to the cloud, and it's like, oh, okay, that's not data privacy at all.
Baker.
I don't think it does that anymore, but also I don't use Siri because Siri sucks. But they announced their iOS 27 update. You know, every year they release a new update to their operating system. It's got some cool child safety features for like parental controls,
Yeah,
and
that seems nice.
I think it is cool to see that like, oh, if my child sends a message out to somebody to a number that's unknown, I can get a notification on my phone. It's very wow, these are good features. Why is every phone company not doing this now? Because this is actually really, because parental controls are for a long time were pretty awful.
Yeah.
So, and then on top of that, there was a noticeable speed up. Applications are speeding up
Mm,
across the board and launching faster on every phone that's going to get this update. So that's good. That's a little.
there you
The
go.
norm was always if I get the latest update, my phone slows down. So it's cool to see that, and
Mm,
they're just
right.
refining some of the design language and making things look a little nicer. But that's really about it. The big thing is, I think it's Tim Cook's last event. Really sucks that was his last event. he's
but
been
he loves AI. It's
he's been
okay.
CEO of Apple since Steve Jobs. He's no longer CEO of Apple, but his last keynote that he went to was all about AI, which is
And they're sending him to a ranch upstate.
yep. And he's going to what's the Dr. Phil
Going to
camp?
die.
Farm camp or
Oh,
something? What was it?
yeah, yeah.
Was it
I
farm
think
camp?
that's he'd like farm camp.
I don't think it was farm camp. I thought they called it something else.
I
Ranch
I
camp, I
don't know.
think, or something.
Sure.
Either way, that's where they're
I'm not as
sending
big of
him.
a Dr. Phil fan. I'm sorry,
I'm not either. I just, the whole
dude.
trend
But what
back
about the
in like
Dr. Phil game?
there was a Dr. Phil game. They're
Did you
announcing
forget
that.
they announced that?
No, I didn't. I didn't forget. I knew all about that. But yeah,
Dude.
that's about it.
Yeah.
Lots of gaming
That's-
accessories announced. I think overall, I want to play Final Fantasy VII. I'm super excited for Monster Hunter. I'm gonna play Persona 6
yeah.
and Persona 4 remaster or
Honestly, the
whatever
new
they want to
Fire
call it,
Emblem looks great.
and the new Fire
The
Emblem.
Fable looks good too. Obviously, I'll probably dabble in Persona at some point.
Well, you'll be busy with GTA 6, man. Sorry.
Dude,
Oh
I
wait,
love Grand Theft Auto.
you don't have a console that's gonna run it. Ah!
Oh,
Oh, you'll
dude,
be
don't worry, they're gonna put it
stuck
on
playing
Switch.
Fable.
No, they're gonna put it on Switch, bro.
You'll be Switch
Trust.
Pro.
Switch, yeah. Nintendo Switch Pro is releasing in a GTA 6 bundle.
Switch 2 Pro GTA 6 edition, and it's got like a special dock.
Yep,
Wow.
yep, that's it.
All right. We were supposed to do the Xbox like retrospective episode this week. We didn't because of all
We
these game
didn't because
announces,
Games
and we
Fest.
wanted to talk on them. So next week is going to be our Xbox retrospective. Thank
Next
you
week
so
you'll be
much for watching, and
slash
I'll see
listening.
you in the next one.
Yeah, and I will as well.
Bye-bye.
Bye, bye.